Hey guys, have you heard about Bariatric Monthly? It's a bariatric subscription box of samples delivered to you monthly. The subscription takes the guesswork out of choosing bariatric-friendly food, supplements and protein powders, and it allows you to try products before you buy them. All samples are carefully selected by our bariatric dietitian based on nutrition, taste and suitability for weight loss surgery patients. You can get $5 off the August box at the moment using the code AUG17. That's AUG17. Visit www.bariatricmonthly.com to sign up today.
Oh, we're back. It's cold. We're back in the freezing Antarctic.
Melbourne.
Yes.
Our poor gas bill.
Oh, what do you mean? Our poor second gas bill.
As soon as we got home, the heater was on.
Oh, man. I miss waking up to 20-odd degree weather.
I miss going outside and the sun actually shining, actually knowing what the sun was.
No, I mean, okay, let's be fair. We can see the sun. We're not in
But I couldn't
caves.
feel it, okay? I could feel
you're
it.
inside.
But I was sick and it actually helped me while I was up
You
there.
realise if you actually went outside and stood in the sun, you would feel warm.
Okay. All right, mate.
There's no science about that.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not really switched on with that stuff. I just noticed.
You're not switched on with the fact that you can stand in the sun and get warm.
No, I know that, but I had a temperature. I didn't know. I kept complaining I was cold in
Well, your
Queensland.
temperature would go high if you stood in the sun.
Yeah, okay. Can we move on from this? Because I feel like an idiot, okay? Let's move on.
Oh, how is everyone doing? I know everyone missed us. Well, it hasn't really been that long.
Did anyone actually miss us?
I'm
saw them
so.
last week.
Oh, not just the people we saw. What about our listeners?
Yes.
Yeah.
We apologise for some of the quality of the last podcast. It was a good test run anyway.
Yeah, from what we heard, it was a little bit quiet, which, some teething issues there with the new microphone. So, yeah, next time will be a little bit different. We'll do a bit more testing and hopefully get it a little bit better. But at least everyone could at least hear the show. We had really good time.
We did. And I was dying. Literally,
yeah.
I was so ill.
No, you did really well. She was actually very sick. So she did a really good job with the podcast.
I wasn't actually going to go. You remember the night before I said if I was like this still, I wasn't going to go. And I'm like, you know what? I have to go. And then it got to 10 o'clock. And when they started closing everything up saying, yeah, we're all finished and that, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I can go to bed now.
Yeah, you weren't like everyone who went out.
Partying.
Partying, good time.
I was just going to go party in bed with me trackies and me t-shirt and 3 doonas and sweat this bad boy out.
With your Macca's cone.
Yes, I needed an ice cream cone to cool me down. And that was the worst decision I made.
But how good was it, the fact that you actually had to cool down?
Yeah, I did. Well, I was overheating. I literally, guys...
Or rather than being in the Antarctic, where we are.
Well, we know that the plane ride up there for me was quite bad. It was a bit traumatic because my ears kept popping. I was in a lot of pain. When we actually got to Queensland, I met up with Corinna, so Banter Bypass, and she knew I wasn't well. And when we were driving through Brisbane up to Noosa, I felt I was getting worse and worse and worse to the point where when we actually got to our Airbnb, the way that the house was designed is the sides of the room were slanty. And when I walked into the room, I actually thought that I was having, what do you call them?
An optical illusion?
Kinda, the whole room was closing in. I thought, oh my God, I'm that sick. I'm getting illusions from the room. I need Grant to take me to hospital. But it wasn't. It was just the way the house was built. I felt the walls were coming in.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, it actually ended up being a really good weekend, and we had a really good time, and really awesome to meet everyone while we're up there as well. So, it was, yeah.
And if we didn't get to talk to you, I'm so sorry, and hopefully we can meet you at the next one. Or
next one will be good.
Yeah, well, Jen and that's doing it, and I have a feeling it will be in Sydney.
Well, you never know.
But we'll wait and see. How was your week, though?
How was my week? Oh, well, I didn't have to go to work, so it's awesome. having a good week away was really good.
Do you feel refreshed?
Yeah, I think so.
I
think
don't.
so. Yeah, well, you had to struggle with a bit, so. But no, I think it was. I think it was a really good week away, and we had our anniversary, of course, and our 3rd year wedding anniversary on the 9th.
And I tell you what, for those that don't know, before we talk about non-WLS stuff, we were in the news this week, and there was a lot of assholes in the general public. You know, we actually do this podcast because we like to kill the stereotypes. There was so many that took the time out of their day to write lovely, beautiful, hateful comments and messages. I'm not even going to bother wasting my time anymore on those people. What is the point? They brought me down. I was reading into it. I shouldn't have read into it. I'm going to move on from it. Anyone that's going to do any sort of media, just make sure that you've got a strong backbone before you do it, because sometimes it's not nice. And I saw Alice was in this week as well, and she got crucified by a lot of comments as well. And I also saw that Amy, who is, I can't remember her Instagram name, but Amy Morrow, she's a hairdresser, same thing, Daily Mail, always delivering the goods, always making everyone feel like shit by putting stuff out there. Thanks, guys, for, that's my rant, sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, all I have to say on that is that we put ourselves out. I mean, anyone who's on Instagram for the reason of wanting to share your journey, wanting to share what you do in your life. I mean, once you're out there, you're out there. You're in the public eye, regardless of how many followers you have, and you're susceptible to public criticism. People want to criticize other people. I think it's just human nature, and all I have to say is that really you shouldn't give any of your time to any of those people. And I know it's hard not to react to that kind of stuff, but the sooner you realize that human beings by nature are not very nice people, it's going to be easier to be able to ignore those kind of people that take the time out of their day to actually make other people feel like shit. And I think that's just the way it's always going to be, unfortunately. You know, there are good people out there, like the majority of our community, and that's all we have to worry about.
Yeah. I know that these guys always have my back, and that's the main thing. I don't need to justify myself to Joe Bloggs from Blogtown, who's decided to take 5 minutes out of his life to, have a pop at me for taking the easy way out. Fuck off. I haven't taken the easy way out at all. We have to mark this episode as explicit now.
Yeah, I don't have a beeping tool. And I'm not going to just sit there and record beep.
But for those listening, beep. It's so frustrating having to... It was... someone even wrote about the point that I was in Queensland and I have a GoFundMe, and it was very rude of me to be in Queensland when I'm trying to crowdfund. And also someone also wrote about my eating disorder, saying that, I don't know who it is, and I'm not going to point out names or anything, but I will say it. But apparently someone who was at the meet did observe me not touch my food, and actually wrote about it. I didn't touch my food because I was very sick. But someone wrote about it anonymously, stating that I'm fueling my eating disorder. So I've had a really shit week, trying to justify my actions and so forth. But anyway, I'm moving on from it because I'm better than that. And let's talk about non-WLS stuff before we get into today's episode.
Yeah, give me your non-WLS story of the week.
I started Game of Thrones.
Yes.
It's taken me 4 years because every time I see it, I'm like, whatever. Yeah, okay. And I was like, all these new trailers look amazing and people are raving about it. So I downloaded episode 1 and I watched it and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. The incest isn't good, but that's okay. I'll deal with that. Yes, there's a lot of breasts. Yes, okay. There's a lot of Force stuff going on, but I'm into episode 4 now and I'm actually really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's obviously I started watching it with you, and it's not a show that I really ever kind of thought I'd get into. But yeah, no, It's not bad. It's actually not bad.
Very
so far.
gory, the first one.
Yeah, seeing a few beheadings was alright.
Heads on spikes and intestines coming out, and I actually said, thank God I'm not actually eating while I'm watching this, because I reckon I would have vomited.
Vom Central.
What's your story, mate?
Just reflecting on our trip to the Gold Coast, and having a really good time. Just having an awesome big kid adventure, going to theme parks,
with
going
Shan's
to Dreamworld, sharing Shen's various faces coming off rides. Going to Dreamworld for the first time in a long time was awesome.
There's nothing wrong with that park. I don't know why I understand why people have boycotted it, but the safety there was amazing. Like, there were safety checks everywhere, and the staff were really good too.
Oh, well, my favourite part was going and see the tigers.
Oh.
Yeah.
We sat there for like a good half an hour, 40 minutes just watching them play.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome just seeing them just act like big cats.
And I got to hug a seal at SeaWorld.
did.
I did, and he kept leaning over to kiss me, and his trainer kept telling him to stop because he wasn't allowed to kiss me because he has a bad tooth, and he kept leaning over to try and kiss my face. I'm like, oh my God. And he didn't smell.
You attracted all the boys.
I did. Remember my milkshake diet from the article? Brings all the boys to the yard, mate.
Right. But at this time, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to remind you guys about our friends over at Cost Price Supplements. Now, just remember to go over there and take advantage of the deal that we've got with them and with the podcast. So if you use the code WLSFamily, you will get 15% off your entire shopping cart. So go over and take advantage of that. Whether you need any supplements, whether you need any other accessories, certainly take a couple of minutes to go over and check them out. This deal, I don't know how long it's going to last for, but while it can last, certainly take advantage of it and use that code WLSFamily to get 15% off.
Do you know what's cool about Cost Price?
What?
I got their protein jellies the other day, and I'm going to make them. So thanks to Chris and the team, they actually sent me protein jellies. I'm going to make, I think they just released them the Sunday after Noosa. So I'm going to make some this afternoon and give them a bit of a review. But I also wanted to say a big thanks to Chris and the team for organising donations for everyone at the weight loss meet. Everyone got the little packets, the little samples, and there was a lot of people there that was really, really grateful for his donation of the Protein Perfection supplement protein water.
Absolutely. Speaking of perfection, what are we speaking about today, Chantal?
We're talking about portion control and our friends over at Portion Perfection.
Nice introduction there.
I know. Look, I've known about Portion Perfection before I actually had my sleeve. It was in my pack that I got from my dietitian and my surgeon. Amanda Clark, she's a very renowned, well-known dietitian, especially up in the Queensland, northern New South Wales area, and they do the bariatric plates and bowls, and they've also done the book. So I remember when I started, I did follow her book religiously. It's like the complete guidebook for weight loss surgery.
Yeah, so it's really awesome that we actually got a number of their products in our giveaway. Yeah,
we do. And it's funny because I was using kind of her stuff before she contacted us, and I was a bit starstruck when we heard from her, and I was like, oh, it's kind of a coincidence because, episode 11 is going to be about, portion control, and we can kind of mix it up. So thank you to Portion Perfection for teaming up with us for this one.
Yeah.
So why do you think portion control is important, Grant?
Well, for me, the best thing about being able to control the portions of what I eat was being able to fall in love with cooking again. So before this surgery, I never really cooked at all. I always was curious, always wanted to get into it, but I never really did. And I was finally able to do it after the surgery, being able to be at home and actually control the freshness of the food that I ate as well. But the problem that I always thought about was, am I going to be able to eat everything. And obviously you can't. And the only way you know to cook, I mean, you don't know how to cook small meals, like especially coming from someone like me who didn't know really how to cook at all. You come into this new world and you think, okay, I'm going to go cook a meal. And then you realize, oh shit, I've got quite a bit left over. So it was more about finding what I could cook that I can actually reheat, keep on using over and over again. And something that I fell in love with, I mean, my personal point of view, I fell in love with curry. It's something that I never really liked beforehand, before my surgery. But then when I was actually exploring food and realizing what I actually really enjoyed, it was good to know that I actually did like curry. Curry worked out really well, but I thought, okay, I'm going to make a big batch of curry. And then I thought to myself, wow, what am I going to do? And it was more about, how am I going to keep this alive? How am I going to use it? You know, because I don't have enough people to eat it with. I mean, it's just you and me. And, you know, we can eat maybe one small batch to ourselves at one time. But what am I going to do with it afterwards? And I can't put it in the normal containers you get from the store, because they're too big.
Yeah.
And then it was amazing that, you know, apart from obviously portion perfection, I found these little containers at Woolies,
which I did put on our Instagram yesterday.
Yeah, and they have been an amazing lifesaver, because
they're 300 mils are the size of the containers.
Well, we don't even fill it up.
No, we don't. We only fill it halfway.
Yeah, we only go halfway. So generally about 150, 200 mils worth of that container is what we use. And it's perfect because you can actually make a normal batch size of anything you want. Like I do chicken and rice, you know, curry, you do risotto.
We do stews, we do soups, we kind of do all sorts.
Everything. And the perfect thing is that they're cheap. You know, they're $2 for 4. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have offers where you can get like 4 for like 4 packs of 4 for like $8. It depends on when they do a special.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one example. Like just these little tiny, containers that I'm able to use, and I've got lunch for a week or 2 weeks.
You know, I don't have
to worry about only cooking a little bit of food, because, I mean, when you go to a grocery store, you're not going to buy like little. I mean, you can, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with buying little amounts of food, but I mean, for me, I prefer buying a normal amount of food and then spreading it out and portioning it and using it for a whole week worth of food.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks worth of food. And that way I don't have to worry about going shopping again. I know I've got lunch. I know I've got dinner. I know I've got, whatever.
And we usually do that every fortnight. I mean, people see we usually do food prep. Depending on how busy we are, we usually do it on Sundays, because all we do is we shove music on and we cook. We actually did it yesterday. We already did it.
Yeah.
And we're basically fed for the fortnight now for lunches.
And the way that, I mean, the premise of that and the base of that is really working on portion perfection, and the fact that they, have their base plate, their normal, I suppose, portion control plate, and also their bariatric plate. And it's just the idea of, okay, this is how much I can have of protein, this is how much I can have of carbs, things like that, and then being able to control it. And the plates that they have designed are really good.
And the bowls as well.
And the bowls are really good for like anytime meals. So if you're just cooking something and then all of a sudden, obviously you're going to have it for dinner or you're going to have it for lunch, whatever, you know that you can prep it right there and then.
So portion problems are actually becoming a problem globally.
Portion problems are becoming a problem?
Correct.
Okay.
So the world at the moment is that we are eating more without being aware of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Marketing encourages us to eat large servings of high-calorie food. So an example of this, we were talking about this earlier, how McDonald's or Hungry Jack's or Red Rooster tell you to go large for $1. It's a marketing ploy. And it also, advertising encourages us to eat more often and suggests that it's normal to eat less healthy foods all the time or at every meal. So the latest global estimate suggests that an additional 1.2 billion people will be overweight or obese by 2030, with the greatest proportion of those new qualifiers being residents in the UK, USA, and Australia. That's scary to me.
It is.
That's not far away.
No. It's not great. I mean, it's not... I suppose it's not really surprising the way the world has gone lately. Because, one thing that I think you were talking to me about before was actually tasting your food.
Well, the portion... Perfect. Sorry to take this away from you. We went to Lone Star last week.
Yeah.
I ordered off the light, and I'm doing brackets with my fingers right now, light menu.
I did warn you.
The bowl was bigger than my head. And I was really upset because I was like, I just want to go out. I've ordered off the light menu. I've ordered a taco salad. I thought I was doing the right thing. But the portion size was ridiculous considering it was off the light menu.
And that's the way
I didn't understand.
But that's the way everything's going. I mean, we've been to America ourselves, and I think that it's driven from that market alone. I mean, I love going to that country. I actually love exploring. I love a lot about it. But with the food, weight loss surgery patient has got no hope of going out and actually ordering a semi-regular sized meal even to share, because a lot of the restaurants over there do give you massive portion sizes, and the reason I say it's starting from America is because we're seeing it here now.
Yeah.
Australia
is the mini version of the US.
A lot of what we do is driven from what they do, so unfortunately. We still have our own traits, of course, but we have a lot of Americanized things over here as well, and we're seeing Australian restaurants and Australian franchises take that lead and go, we should offer massive meals, we should offer, big portions and things like that. And it's like, why? And it is more about satisfying your hunger rather than satisfying your taste buds, and really concentrating on what you're eating, concentrating on that taste, and I think you were telling me before Portion Perfection talk about actually treating your food as if you're like a food critic, and actually understanding what you're tasting. Does it go together? Are you enjoying it? Rather than just scoffing it down and fulfilling your hunger.
It always says satisfaction is the absence of hunger. So fullness means that you've overstretched your stomach, essentially. Yeah. Whenever you feel full, you've eaten too much. And again, this is going back to the bowl and the plate, okay? I love the Portion Perfection brand. I really do. As I said to you before, I followed the book. I followed everything after surgery. The plate and the bowl itself, they are tools to use with your stomach tool to address 3 common issues. So the first one is, of course, portion size. So how much we eat depends largely on how much food we have on our plates or in the snack food packet. So portion control is a valuable tool to add to your surgery. The second thing is nutritional balance. So you need to get the right things for a balanced diet on your plate. And it's really easy to do with this plate system because it lays it out for you. It tells you how much protein you should have on this plate, how much salad or free veg, and how much carbs. This is what I love about it. It does it for you. You just need to pick the food up and put it on the plate. Also, eating awareness. So by being fully aware of what you're eating and eating in a conscious way, you'll find satisfaction for your mind as well as your stomach. So it means savoring your food and slowing down your eating so you'll feel satisfied with smaller quantities. So there are also specific eating behaviors that particularly help avoid unnecessary pain and discomfort. And we all know how that feels especially when I've got really excited about something to eat and I've eaten it way too quickly. I'll have to go lie down, or I'll have to go move around. I'll have to do something. Otherwise, I'm going to end up vomiting.
Yeah.
So the actual bariatric plate itself is designed to hold approximately 200 to 250 calories. That's when the base is filled to a depth of about 2 centimeters. So if you use this, you should experience some sort of satisfaction on this amount, especially if you've had a recent sleeve or a bypass, or if your band's been adjusted as well. And sometimes you'll find that amount of food won't satisfy you. You might require a little adjustment, but you can speak to your dietitian about that.
I think that goes for. It's a really good point you put in there. It really goes for weight loss surgery patients as well, and it's more about satisfying, satisfying you rather than just eating until you can't eat anymore. And that's something that I did.
No, that's not the point of eating, though. You just need to fuel your body. You don't need to do it to the point where you lie on the floor like a Teletubby, rubbing your belly, thinking, "Why have I done this?"
Well, that's what I used to do all the time. And that's how I got as big as I was, because I used to eat until I literally could not eat anymore. I wouldn't eat lunch, I wouldn't eat breakfast, or I wouldn't eat dinner. I would eat one meal a day, and it would be the biggest meal that I could get, and I would just absolutely fill myself until I couldn't fit any more in. And I would feel sick. I would feel so bloated I would be hardly able to move. But that was the point for me eating. It wasn't enjoying my food. It wasn't actually tasting it. It wasn't actually enjoying it.
Have you ever perfect example. Last year, you took me to Heston's.
Yeah.
I literally sat there. We were there for a couple of hours. But I took maybe 40 minutes just to eat my appetizer because I wanted to taste the food. It wasn't like I'm not using, this is a bad example, but it's more me trying to say, when it's a meal that you're really excited for and you're really looking forward to it, because look, some days food is, a bit of a chore, I would say, in a way, like, oh shit, I gotta eat, what am I gonna have? Oh yeah, I'll have this, but sometimes there are times when there is something you really want and you sit there and you have the biggest smile on your face and you're like, I have a small space to fit this in. I'm going to sit here and enjoy it. Every mouthful that you have, all these electrolytes and noises and buzzes and rainbows and balloons and streamers are going off in my mind and my mouth when I'm eating it because I'm taking it in. And I'm not overeating. I'm, like you said, the food critic post that we read was perfect. Like, you need to put yourself in a position of, okay, I'm a pretend food critic right now. I've got this delicious food in front of me. I need to save a space. So I'm just going to have a bit of each bit and enjoy it. Also,
I can remember that day. I remember tasting the money going out of my wallet.
Thanks, mate. Anniversary. That was a nice gift for you.
Yeah, it was expensive.
I've also found for me that chewing food slowly really helps me as well.
It's actually chewing in general. Did you know that? You can actually just chew anything, and that'll actually slowly take away your hunger.
Well, it says that you're supposed to take approximately 20 minutes to finish a meal. Prior to sleeve, I would have been about 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would have been 5.
So one of the main points that they do make is that eating protein is essential because protein stays in your pouch a lot longer.
Yeah, it burns slower.
Yeah, it gives satisfaction that fluids and slider foods don't have. So an example is you could go and eat some slider food. You're going to be hungry again in an hour or so.
What's an example of a slider food?
Twisties.
Twisties.
Chips.
I want some twisties now.
No. But chips, chocolate, your carby food, which will go straight through you. We all know what slider foods are. We all know that we all go to them when we are feeling like we want to eat shit, basically. We all feel guilty afterwards. Those pea chips that I eat, they're slider food. I don't know why I eat them. And after I've eaten a full bag, I get upset because I've realised what I've done. But it's because it's a slider food. But if we go and get a roast chicken and we sit there and we eat it and we chew it because it's chicken, I'm fuller longer. I won't be hungry for another 3 or 4 hours.
We can't eat a full chicken.
I'm not saying we eat a full chicken. We usually get like a quarter chicken and we share it.
Just said a roast chicken. I'm not eating a whole thing. You can eat the whole thing, mate.
Okay, mate.
But can't eat bread, yeah?
Oh, yeah. It's against the weight loss surgery law. You're not allowed to eat bread. Although, Amanda, I want to give you a hug through my podcast right now because we went through your cookbook and your online post and we saw a recipe for a breakfast and it was like sourdough with like peaches and avocado. And I'm like, there is a wonderful dietitian there who has stated, yes, you can have this, but you need to have it in moderation and use your plate so you can measure it out. When I saw the sourdough on there, I laughed because, again, people are like, oh, you can't have that. Oh, no, you can't have that. Oh, you can't eat bread again. Yes, you can.
Well, we do.
Yeah, we do. We have the Baker's Delight low fiber, high GI.
High
fiber, low GI.
GI.
That's the only bread we can do. And I can do sourdough. Only if it's toasted, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think that the point there is just an actual qualified, well-renowned dietitian is actually saying, have bread. Yeah, bread will help. And bread will actually help fill you up.
There are carbs that you need to have, and you need to have fiber to be able to go to the toilet as well. You know, it's not healthy to be taking constipation tablets all the time.
Are you taking constipation tablets?
I have taken a few, yes.
I don't think I ever have.
No, because you don't need to. I live with you, I know. Anywho, so back to the plates, because I rave about these, and not only because they've teamed up with us, because it is something, as I said before, there are a lot of people that do follow. They got the packs from their dietitians, as well as the Complete Weight Loss Guide. One thing I do love about the plates is if you have a look around the plate, you will see that there is wording around it. Now, Amanda and the team haven't just put the wording on there to make it look pretty. It is a regime that you would need to follow to be able to use this as a tool. Now, Grant's just handed me one of the plates, and if you do have a plate with you, go and have a look at it. You will see that there are words that go around that say position, drink, chop, nibble, taste, chew, pause, relax, and enjoy. I never used to really look at those words and know what they were until I actually sat down and read it. So I'm going to quickly go through it because I think it's a really cool tool to use, and it's setting yourself up. So the first one is position. So the team say position yourself to be sitting up straight. Slumping creates some upward pressure which can make it difficult for food to move smoothly, through your small stomach. Number 2 is drink. So drink before your meal. So if you have a band, this can help to clear away any particularly digested fibers over from a previous meal. Band owners can drink within minutes before a meal because they have a different tolerance level to what sleeve and bypass owners do. We need more time, so they recommend 30 to 40 minutes beforehand. Chop your food well. So check it against the circle on the plate border. So this should be small enough to get through a space of that size. So you'll be able to see that on there. You see that, Grant?
I can.
So take small bites. So this is another bit. Literally just nibble, and just to ensure that there is space for air to move up your esophagus as food travels down. Now, if you attempt to swallow too much food in one go, you may find as though that it's getting stuck partway down.
We know what that's like.
I was going to say, do you want to talk about how you know? Because you suffer with it quite a bit.
Oh, it's just more, I know when it's almost like, it's just like a pocket of air that's trapped right in the center of your chest. And it's just, you can feel the blockage. And it's not that you can't breathe. You can breathe, but it's right in the middle of trying to swallow it down and vomit it back up. You can't do either. It's feeling like there is a massive chest pain. And the way that I get rid of it is actually burping and hunching over. But it takes forever and it makes you sweat. You know, it's such a painful thing to go through. But yeah, it's something that I still have to make sure that I'm doing properly because I'm not always chewing my food as much as what I should. I chew it a lot, but not as much as what is recommended. Yeah. And also the smaller bite sizes is something that I have to do as well.
So the number 5 one is notice the taste, texture, temperature, and aroma of the food. Number 6 is chew your food well. So there's absolutely no substitute for chopping. However, often when we chew foods, we really don't break the fibers, we just mash them up. Number 7 is pause between bites to allow the smooth passage of food to your stomach and for your brain to register that you're eating. Now, they do state previously it did take approximately 20 minutes for the message to go from your stomach to your brain to let them know that you were full. Number 8 is relax. So tension creates again an upwards pressure which can make it more difficult for food to go down. And number 9 is slow down and enjoy. And wait 90 seconds between mouthfuls.
Well, I think that's the most important thing, isn't it? Being able to enjoy your food.
Well, it says on here to really get full enjoyment out of eating, you need to take into the following, like the following attributes. So presentation. Before you start eating, have a look at how your food looks. Take photos of your food. There has been studies to prove that taking photos of your food makes you more accountable. The variety, so having a variety of colours and textures on your plate. The aroma, does it smell? What do you notice? Does it smell fresh? Can you smell certain parts of the meal? As you eat the food, do you notice the texture? Like, again, you need to become a food critic when you are eating.
Should you even actually be like Pete and Manu? I know we do that.
I know we do that. But it works. You slow down and you actually sit back and you taste the food.
I haven't given a 10 yet, though.
Mate, my cooking's pretty good.
Yeah. I think you can do with a bit more flavour and... Well, if looks could kill. If looks could kill.
My main point about this, guys, isn't just about the plate. It's about taking care of you, and it's a big thing that I realised on my journey. I eat so I can live. I don't live to eat anymore. I get small meals during the day. I'm going to bloody well sit down and enjoy them.
Yeah.
You should. When we went to the theme parks last week, it's all burgers. It's burgers, chips, hot dogs, shitty food. We were very strategic. We actually took packed lunches with us. It was about being prepared. It was about being accountable. And it was about maintaining that pride that I have for making sure that I make the right decision with food.
Yeah. And well, I mean, it's not just about that as well. It's also about making your dollar grow. Like what you found that ever since having this surgery, our money stretches so much more because we actually portion out our food. I mean, an example of that, going to theme parks and you're spending $13, $14 just for a burger.
Well, a drink was $8.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's about, I mean, portion control helps you so much, not only with your food, with actually appreciating it and actually making it last, which is the main thing. So that's what we want. We want to be able to enjoy it. We want to love food more and we want to appreciate it more. But it also gives you that advantage of actually stretching out your dollar and making what you purchase last longer. You know, that's the main thing. And that's,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be. How dare you cough while I'm speaking?
Sick. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
So the lovely guys over at Portion Perfection actually sent us a pack to give away, which we're really excited about. I personally would recommend this pack or any of the range to anyone who's had weight loss surgery. The reason for that is because it's a really good resource. It provides a guide to help and achieve and maintain the weight that you desire to.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Great Ideas in Nutrition is the brand. The question that we are asking for you to participate is, how many calories is the bariatric plate designed to hold? So I did mention this before.
I wasn't listening.
You never listen to me. I'm used to it. So what we want you to do is when we put this live feed up and we post it on Instagram and Facebook, we want you to comment how many calories it is designed to hold. It is the bariatric plate, not the normal one. We want you to comment the number. Every person who enters it correctly, your name will go into a hat.
Oh, so it's not first in, best dressed.
No, because I don't like that, because I want to give people a chance to listen and answer. Where they're going to write down everyone's names, they're going to go into a hat, and we're going to do a live feed by Friday next week to draw out the winner.
Yep. So, yeah, put a comment on our post.
A comment. You need to comment the number.
What if they message us?
I won't accept messages.
Oh, come on. What
No.
if they're secret people?
I'll tell them to go and put it on comments.
What if they're secret?
Okay, we'll
things?
make an exception. Okay?
Okay.
So in the pack, there is a bowl, there is a plate, there is a 4-week weight loss guide, there is a snack Bible, and also the amazing Portion Perfection for Bariatrics book. I love the orange book. It's a really good tool to have. Has lots of ideas in there. Has different different substitutes for protein, snacks, everyday lunches, breakfast. Like, it's a really good tool to have for anyone who's pre or post.
Pre or post.
I would suggest pre or post.
What about non-WLS patients?
I think it would work for them as well. It gives them an insight into portion control.
I think the idea is for WLS patients. But,
Absolutely.
So what do they win? What is actually in the pack?
I just said.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
As normal, you don't listen to me. There is a bowl, there is a book, there is a snack Bible, there is the Portion Perfection for Bariatrics book, and there is a 4-week weight loss diary guide.
Does that mean I get the plate? Or is the plate involved as well?
I just said the plate.
No, you said the bowl.
I said plate and bowl.
You said bowl.
I'm going to hit you over the head with the plate in a
So,
minute.
because she didn't say plate, I'm keeping the plate.
No, we're not. So, yes, so you need to answer the question again. The bariatric plate is designed to hold how many calories? Comment on our post, the number, your name will go into the draw, and we will draw it as a live feed next Friday. This is open to Australian residents only.
What if they're off by 1 calorie?
No, I've already mentioned it. They can actually look it up too.
But what if they're off by 1 calorie?
No, I'm sorry. Stop it.
I might enter.
You can't enter. You're the
Why?
one running it. It'll be fixed.
Well, I wasn't listening, so I might have to look it up.
So, anywho, thank you very much to Amanda and the team at Portion Perfection and Great Ideas in Nutrition. You can actually visit them. They do have a shop up in Coolangatta where you can go and visit them. It's a shame because that's where we just were.
No, that's where we should
We could have popped in and see them, but
Apologies.
yes, we do apologise. They also have a podcast as well.
Yeah, it's... I actually don't have the podcast name on me. I did give it to you.
It's Beyond Bariatric Surgery.
Podcast. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, guys. I actually gave it to you. Why didn't I have it in front of me?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Beyond Bariatric Surgery podcast. We actually mentioned the podcast at the Auswide meetup as well for anyone who was there. So yeah, definitely give that a listen. Download and give it a listen. Support the cause and support the podcast, of course.
You can follow them on Instagram under Portion Perfection.
Yep.
And you can visit their website, which is greatideas.net.au. As I said, the answer will be on there. There are also other, not projects, but other products on there that you can purchase.
Yep.
And also, if you do want to go and, see them in person, you can make an appointment where you can go and discuss your dietary needs, or they deal with a lot of things. So they do have at the moment, so for anyone that doesn't win but is going to go buy a plate or a bowl, you can use the coupon code thank you to receive an extra plate and bowl when you purchase a complete bariatric kit in is it melamine or porcelain?
Oh, melamine. Yeah, that sounds right. Is thank you one word or 2 words?
Huh?
Oh, is it just one word, or do they have to put a space?
Yeah, it's just one word. Thank
So
you.
yeah,
So the
just
complete kit includes the bariatric plate, bowl, book, snack Bible, and recipe book. So it's the one that we're going to be giving away.
And then if they put that code in, they get an extra plate.
Bowl
or
and bowl.
Oh,
So
that's all right.
you can give it to someone else in the house with you. Your hubby, like, here, you need to use this portion plate with me.
What are you trying to say?
You should go to a gym, Grant.
Hey. I actually should. I really should.
Anyway, quickly, the meets a challenge.
Quickly, or are we done with that now?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, so...
Portion control is very important, guys, at the end of the day. That's the moral of the story. You need to stay accountable. You should portion control. You're the one that needs to be accountable for your actions. Use a smaller plate. Do meal prep. Do what you can to take control.
And most importantly, learn to love your food. You know, we were in love with food before our surgery, but I think we're more in love with the actual filling of our stomachs, not the actual food we're eating.
The satisfied feeling, not the sick feeling of eating so much
taste,
McDonald's.
Enjoy, and love your food. But certainly in portion control for sure. Let's get on to the Meets a Challenge. So we've spoken with Tara, and I believe we actually have a winner. Thank you for everyone who entered. It was awesome to see all the different meters being made, so that was a really cool challenge, I thought. But yeah, we do actually have a winner, don't we, Chantal?
It is. Congratulations to My Awesome VSG Adventure. So she made a... it looked like pepperoni and ham.
So maybe like a Meat
it was
Lovers.
bacon and pepperoni. It was kind of like a Meat Lovers, and she did a barbecue sauce. It actually looked really good.
It looks amazing.
And
Can I have some?
So Tara has said that you are the winner. So she will be in contact with you to send you your prize, which is her e-cookbook, Nurture and Nourish. It's an amazing book, and you'll get a lot of ideas out of that. So thank you so much for Tara for participating with that. And a big congratulations to My Awesome VSG Adventure.
Really awesome. I'm serious. Can you actually send me some?
No, Grant.
Well, I want some.
They need to have like a WLS Eats, like an Uber Eats.
But like just WLS Eats?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Uber should think about that. Or maybe restaurants should think about that.
Do you know what time it is?
Yes, I know what time it is.
Shan's social shout out.
Oh my God.
I didn't actually do one at the meet last week.
No, thank God.
But it's because I met everyone. But I would have given it to Dan.
Yeah, Dan was
Dan was amazing. But anywho, my social shout out this week goes to one of the most caring people in this community. I was really lucky to be able to meet her last week, and as soon as I saw her, I grabbed her and I didn't want to let go. Not only is she a big supporter of the podcast, but on my personal page, she's been like one of my number one supporters. She sends me messages all the time when I'm feeling crappy. She's got this positive aura around her. She's lost 51 kilos. And she started her journey on the 12th of July 2016. My social shout out goes to the incredible Wens Does Life.
Woo!
I love Wens.
Yeah, Wens is awesome. It was awesome meeting.
I didn't want to let go of her, and we were twinning in our dresses nearly.
Almost.
Almost.
Who rocked it better?
Wens did. It was her birthday too.
It was her birthday.
So we hope you had a lovely birthday and you're at the Noosa meet, and just seeing all your photos, and you're so positive, and I want to take that away from you. Like, you teach me a lesson every day, and you know, your philosophy on life, on taking that step back, looking after you, letting your kids know, look, I'm taking some time out for myself. I'm still going to be here, but I need to work on me. Like, that takes a lot of balls to do that. And I admire you so much. Not only the weight loss, but you as a person. So thank you for being in my life, and thank you for always encouraging me and the podcast. Thank you, Wens.
Yeah, really good stuff. It's always good to get some positive vibes from the community, and especially Wens. She's really a big supporter of both of us and the podcast, as a lot of other people are. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for this week. Is it, Shane?
Well, it is. I'm just going to say again, the question to win the pack, again, is the bariatric plate is designed to hold how many calories?
I can actually see the answer. Can I tell them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it weird? This episode, I feel like I've done all the talking for once.
I never talk on these things.
We had to shut you up at the meet last week.
No, you rudely interrupted me.
Because you were talking a lot.
No, never. I hardly talk at all on these things.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week.
And before we go, I probably should just remind you all that it is an opinion-based show. We always do this based on our experience and our knowledge and our own research. We are certainly not qualified medical experts in any way. If you are after any medical advice, kind of like Amanda from Portion Perfection, I would suggest that you go and see someone in that field to get some medical advice on anything bariatric related, weight loss surgery related. Don't take our word as gospel. We will always give you advice based on our own opinion and our own knowledge, made up of other people within the community as well. But apart from that, Shan, I think that'll do us for this week. This is Changing Our Ways, signing off. No.
I want a taco salad.
No more taco salad, gentlemen.